Okay, all right. What's happening, guys? Turn this down. Okay, we are live. I've got two cameras going, so I can turn one, show you in the parking lot here just a second. Where I was shooting from, if you can see out this window, this is the parking lot of the marina, and it is underwater right now. So let me go to comments. Kevin, what's happening, buddy? We're gonna give it some time for people to come in here. It's probably kind of early. First time I ever done a live stream, but it'll go later on. It'll go live and replay, and then people can see what we're seeing. So I am almost sharing the screen here, since we don't have too many people in there in case there's any mistakes. Hopefully my signal is good, and Kevin, is my voice is good. You can give me a thumbs up there, and then I'm going to do a quick screen share here real quick and show kind of like where I'm at. Good audio and video, excellent. So I think I figured out what happened, and we're getting some little band coming through. All right, so for those that'll be coming in later, I'm going to show where I'm at. And this is, first let me share a screen. Start screen sharing, Google Maps, share. Okay, for those that want to know exactly where I'm at, it's the state of Florida, coming into Tampa, and then Ruskin coming in, and I'm right here. Come in a little closer. Shell Point Marina is the parking lot that I'm sitting in. That normally looks like that. All right, let me come back. All right. Okay. Hey guys, what's happening? We're just getting going. It's all good. I'm sitting in about 1 foot of water. I'm going to show you. Hopefully this rain will stop for just a second. I'm using this backup camera to be able to show you. Yeah, and it's showing now. So this is Shell Point Marina, and this is looking. I gotta put the window. We'll get water on the thing. We can see out of here. Shell Point Marina. I was sitting right there last night, right there where that pile of rocks are. Let's see. This way. I was sitting right there. The marina's underwater now. The boats, talked with some guys. The boats are, people are on their boats. They had to release their lines through the night. And, yeah, and it's only going to get worse. The road was pretty sketchy coming in here. We're going to have a low tide, and then a high tide back around. I think it's 2 o'clock. I have to look, and you can see where it is now. It's going to be pretty bad here. So the reason I came here to Shell Point Marina, I used to have good times right out there, and I've been to this marina a lot. Let me put this window down and back up. Maybe that'll help clean off a little bit. That's a lot, but I used to keep good times right back there, and we've had this happen. Very same thing where you had to ride the storm out and loosen your lines. It's a fine line between staying with your boat and being able to get out of here, because as you see now, it's getting a little more daylight. This truck is sitting, and it's got about 1 more foot, and it's in it. That car, it's probably already starting to go in that car. Here's something I'm worried about. This boat over here is on stands, and I don't see it tied down. That's going to be a mess. And then let me turn this back here. See the high rise, right? See the low boats. Yeah, this thing's gonna be good for sure. So the truck, you seen a truck come through a minute ago because he was parked over there, and I'm sure he didn't want his truck to go underwater. Finally, a little more daylight. This road is pretty sketchy coming in. There's a section that's about this deep or deeper, but it's only about a block long. If you get through that, then you end up being pretty good. Let me show you a couple things here. Put this camera back. I think I got it finally figured out now how to do this. Keep everything working. I hope all is well with y'all. If it knocks off, if it goes off for a second, give it a minute. Usually comes back on, but I think I got the Starlink figured out. I'm going to share a screen, kind of show you where I'm at and then what I'm expecting to happen. Let's see. I'm going to go to a share screen. Google Maps. So for those that are coming in, this is Florida. The storm is up here, obviously, getting ready to make landfall. I haven't even checked it in a while, so I'm not sure. I can check it in a minute. But this is the Tampa Bay, and this is the problem with the Tampa Bay. When the wind comes in, as I'll show you on windy, then it piles up in the bay. You can see it's got nowhere to go. There is no outlet up here. But I'm halfway in the bay, right here at Shell Point Marina. Shell Point Marina. That's the way it used to look. It looks a little different. I'll show you on windy what we're working with. So there's the storm. I guess it's just landfall. Look at there. All right, they're catching it up there right about now. And the Apalachicola Bay, the problem with it is it's kind of like Tampa Bay too. There's nowhere for this water to go. So I expect them to see 10 to 15 foot of storm surge. But I believe a lot of people were wise enough to get out. Look at that other stuff. Keep it away. So coming here, looking at winds building up, a little band coming through. So we're right up here. And about the worst case scenario is happening. The wind right now is going northeast, as you can see. See that? It's going right up the bay. That's why this water is like it is. But it's expected to get worse at 2 o'clock, excuse me, around 2 p.m. This water will be coming straight in on the shore. And then the water can't get out. As in right now, when the tide changes and it's going to be working out as it is, the water can't really get out. And this area is going to flood way worse than what it is. This is a little Manatee River here. We're right here. So, yeah. All right, let's go back. So, let's see, I'm going to stop sharing that screen and take a look at hopefully my sound quality is good. All right, Kevin. Thank you, sir. Yep, I started to loop. That's a good point, Kevin. Started to loop right up from here. We were right around the corner where we actually started. I was in Little Harbor Marina, which is about a quarter mile, half mile that way. And then I left and met Zoffringer and we started out. But yep, this is where the loop started. Let's see. Okay. So I'll do another share right quick. More get to the daylight, seeing it's not raining. The boat, obviously, the water is over the docks. That means the power to the docks are off. They've shut off the power to the docks for safety, obviously. And here's the challenge with that. Any boats that don't have good batteries and are not being charged, sometimes your batteries are about dead and you don't realize it. I can tell you that from experience. You don't realize it until it dies. Those that will remember, we did a trip before the Great Loop. It was kind of a shakedown. Went down to Charlotte Harbor. Well, coming back at Bradenton, we stopped to get fuel, and my batteries went to crank it up. They were dead. Now, that thing had run the whole time, driving long as the motors were on. Of course, the alternator was making, making energy. But as soon as that thing turned off, it died, and that was the end of it. I had to get new batteries. Now, I was lucky because, of course, I had my generator, and I also had a charger on board, so I was able to charge it up just enough to get it to crank up. And then, of course, while it was running, we made it. So, yeah, this water, trying to see what I can count so I can know. All right, basically, I see that gate over there, and that's the boat ramp. If you can see, that's the boat ramp right at the base of that. Let's see. That's the boat ramp there. It goes down into the water. But as you can see, you can put your boat in right here. The wind has not been major over here. The problem on this storm is always going to be and has been the storm surge. All right, Kevin, I appreciate that. It says the audio is not and video has not skipped a beat. That's good. I think I got this thing figured out. So what I think that I'm going to do is I got a few places that I can drive to, but obviously I can't read any comments while I'm driving. It's kind of hard to do, unsafe. But I wanted to show this, and then I'm going to drive out here in just a second. We're going to get in a little deeper water getting out of here. But then you'll be able to see this Shell Point Road, this entire road here. I'll show you again coming back to this area. This is, let's see, share my screen. Let's go back to the map. This whole Shell Point Road right here, as you can see, that runs straight out to 41. But this thing, as you can see, follows the river. The river is right up to the edge of the road, as you're going to see here in just a minute. So what we'll do is, since we got this on video, we can return here later at the highest tide, and I'm going to fly the drone, kind of show you what we're working with. All right, let me go back. Yeah, so those of you that's new to the channel, I started the Great Loop back in 2 years ago, 21, and made it all the way up to Chesapeake, Virginia, where I done some damage to the boat, put the boat on the hard. I got sick, very, very sick, almost died. I'm going to make some videos about that. Sold my boat because I thought I was dying. And long story short, I got healed. The good Lord healed me. And I'm on 100% today, and I'm working back on the project boat to start back on the Great Loop April coming. Got a lot of work on the boat to do, as y'all know, but I'll be starting back on the Great Loop. Now, the reason I'm practicing all this is I planned on live streaming almost the entire trip. So this is kind of like practicing up to that. I bought the new Starlink. I've got, now I'll be able to show you this since this camera's working. This is the Starlink here. And I got in the back of the truck. I've got a generator running for my power, and then the Starlink satellite. I'll show you, although the audio is picking up on here, so you won't hear me when I step out of the truck here. I want to see how deep it is too. And we'll take a look, show you that setup, which will end up going on the boat. And that's what I'll live stream with. So yeah, we're getting a little deep here. It's about I guess it's about, I'd say a foot close to it. I don't want to spend too much time in this water. Let these shoes dry a little bit. Um, this water at this time right now, a lot of the sewages you'll see as we go out, all of them are underwater and the red lights are on. And that, obviously the water will start backing up, the sewage will, and it'll come out. And that becomes a big problem. So I think we'll go ahead and do a little bit of riding since the camera's working good. Let's hope the Starlink continues, which that's what this is about. It's all practice. Let's see. Let me read this question before I get underway here, Kevin. Let's see. He's asking, would it be okay to help someone's boat if you've seen it, breaking away? Um, that would be very situational. Um, Legally, you're not supposed to enter on someone's boat as long as you don't get on it. I think I would, and it would depend on like what the deal was. If I was in the marina, and let's see if we can get this going up here. If I was in the marina and kind of knew the marina well, had been there for a while, I'm a super helpful person. I always do that kind of stuff. I would try to help out. You just gotta be like a real iffy. Now, yeah, that road water's come up even more. The road was dry right back there earlier. So let's get this up. You can see it's gonna get a little sketchy here. And the reason is the river is, you'll see it up here in a second. And there's nothing to block it. And as you can see, that's why it's pouring in. It's gonna get about a foot and a half, I think. I think I'm gonna find out where that shouldn't be a problem. Definitely, yeah, that's the alarm. Like if you're backing into something. This and the next block is the deepest area. It's getting pretty deep now. See that wood floating right there? I hit that a while ago. It was sitting on the bottom, and that's the kind of stuff you got to worry about. There's actually a lot of it. Something floating there. So here, for those that remember, where Zoffinger and I had our little place rented, was right. We're passing it. We're coming to it. Oh, here's another floating log. Be careful of those. Yeah, you can see this right there. Those that will remember that's been on watching the channel for a while, kind of give you an idea how deep this water is. Now it should come up a little more shallower. There we go. Here are those alarms. That's for the sewage systems. All right, we're going to be good here in just a second. But you don't want to drive very fast here. See, that house is pretty high. You wouldn't want to drive fast here because it runs the water right up in people's houses. There's a lot of dock parts I see floating already. There's not been too many on the roadway. There's a couple places down here. I'll show you at the river. Morning, Tom. What's happening, Tom? How you doing? Yeah. Are you here? For oh, okay. Yeah, it's you can make it, but it's getting iffy. Yeah. Oh, you did? Yeah. I wonder about later though. Huh? Yeah, I was at the marina. I guess maybe 4 years ago for a long time, and then I went to Little Harbor, and then I started on the Loop.
The guy over here that he's dead now, his wife's here, but a good friend of mine. He was a doctor over the old, help everybody around.
Yeah.
The no name, you just don't.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, I wasn't here at the time, but I've heard a lot about it. But I do remember the storm.
Start down the Shell Point. It was like the river coming right out of the driveway over there, and then you know where Hecker is?
No. No.
Right from there, I know people over there got out of bed and it's in his bedroom and it's over his knee.
Wow.
Those
well, they say in about 2 o'clock it's going to be its worst.
Yeah.
High that the other high tide.
Mine over here. I hope it does that. About 3 or 4 feet more. It'll get at my house.
Yeah, I'll pray it doesn't. But supposedly at 2, there's one more high tide, and the wind's coming directly on shore then. All right, well, be careful. Be safe. Talk to you later. These guys has been around here a long time. Hey, what's happening, Jules? Good morning. These guys has been around here a long time. You know, they've seen a bunch of it. He was talking about the no-name storm. We had a storm. I can't tell you what year. I think it was 90s, mid-90s, best I can remember. That thing sort of just blew up, and this is back before we really had the kind of weather systems where they can figure out what's coming. That house has just got about 6 inches. It'll be underwater, and then you got one over here that's way up. But anyways, that storm, it surprised everybody. Lot of property damage. We pray that don't happen, but this Shell Point River, like I showed you, the road here, the river is right off to our starboard side. And it's only about, at this point, it's not even 100 yards, so that's why there's so much water here. There's a place up here we should be able to see. We're going to come into Little Harbor. I was in here earlier, and it's not flooding. I thought it was a little lower than what it actually is, but it seemed to be in pretty good shape. This is where I kept my boat the last time, Little Harbor. Hopefully the security guy's not here. I'm waiting to hear back from a fella, Captain Stacy. He owns the I think I forget, it's a boat rental business. He owns it right here. You'll see it in a second. But they look like they're doing fine. This is a very nice, my favorite marinas around, for sure. Y'all didn't see that stop sign. Yeah, he owns this little Harbor Water Sports. I sent him a text to let him know everything was good. I don't believe he's on this boat. I don't see him. these are little boat rentals, but you see this is in good shape back here. These are all floating docks, so they're not going to have any trouble at all. The fixed docks up front might be an issue. Let's see if we can ride up there. I think what I planned for today is I'm gonna keep the live stream on, but I'll take myself off, and as I ride to these different places, I think the next trip is to head down to the Skyway Bridge, which is the the mouth of Tampa Bay, where you can really see the water, see what's happening with the water. Bring this in now. It's starting to rain a little bit. I was gonna ride down there, and we'll just have it on basically where I'm off screen. I can't really read and stuff while we're driving, but we're gonna try something here just a second. I'm wondering, I should be able to walk away from the computer with no problem. What I'm doing here is using a regular cell for the second camera, and let's see, killer over there. It's gonna eat somebody. I'm gonna pull up over here, go in there where we go check the marina, how they're doing. Hang on a second. Try to keep the security off of it. They'll try to call. All right, we're gonna try it. I'm gonna do a little walkabout and see where the boats. Yeah, they're riding very high. I think they're over the docks. And if it knocks me off, I'll come right back. How you doing? Yeah. Are you on the boat? One of the boats or
I'm on a floating dock.
Okay. Y'all doing good over there?
Yeah. I don't know about over here though.
Yeah, that's what I was just wondering if it. Last time I was here, I was here when it came over the docks, but it doesn't look like. Yeah, no, it is. It's over. Is it? Well,
Yeah.
I would have been there about the same time.
Oh yeah.
I was in Good Times.
Good time.
Good
That
Times.
sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, it started. Yeah, and it, see, guys, I believe. See if I can. Look at that. What a mess. Hey, and it's supposed to get worse. 2 o'clock supposed to be the worst of it. Yeah, that second high tide, wind's gonna be completely on shore. Oh yeah, you're gonna be fine. It's just I don't see anybody on their boats, but
Oh, they killed the power. Troy came down and killed the power.
yeah. All right, brother. Good luck with it. Hope it all works out for you. sure if y'all can hear me, but yeah, the docks, they cut power to the dock. The water is over the docks by a foot. These boats were same boats here when I was here. Man, what a mess. I just realized what happened is I was connected to the Starlink because it went off line. And when I walked away from the truck, I got out of the Wi-Fi range. But it should have switched over to my regular cell. I'm not sure why it didn't. Morning. Definitely got that flooding going on, and I'm afraid it's going to get worse. I was hoping to stay in that building last night, but that didn't work out. All right, guys. If somebody will, could you hear me talking when I was over there by the boat? Might put a comment. It's like I was online all the time. So we're doing all right, so you could hear me, Kevin, talking like all the way on the docks, and did it knock off? Because on my phone it looked like I was offline. But okay, echo me. That should have took care of that. DA says there's an echo. All right, that should have took care of it. Tico's in. Fortunately, the security is right up there, and I can't towards where you can see the water. It just looks like water, but high. So those that when I was on the Great Loop, you'll remember I used to do the walkabouts, and that's what the plan is. What I'm working on with the systems, to where I can do walkabouts and live stream them. Of course, the plan is to live stream almost a whole trip, and that ought to be pretty cool. I ought to have internet, and I hadn't went into detail, but I'm planning 4 cameras on the boat, mounted to the roof that I'll put on it when I'm going to build for the whole solar panel. I'm trying to work my systems where I can switch on here through this software. I should be able to switch from camera to camera, and then everybody have like the different views. So this, I was planning on coming here if we had any high water, but the problem was all of that closed down last night. Everything, all the motels and hotels and restaurant, because well, it could have got bad. So I guess they had to do what they had to do. So let's see. And this is a good test. Yeah, it's working good. You know, it should be open. I guess I ought to need to. Well, the cool thing is I can ride down here and trying to figure out. I have to have a mount for this. A little cluster going on here. Come on now. Well, there's the guy that owns Shell Point Marina. So we made it out of there just in time. This road will be flooding off and on. We're going to come down here and be able, there's a couple different places we'll be able to see the little Manatee River and see how high it is. I'm going to pull over up here for some of the, that's getting a little deeper. But it shouldn't be a problem. I'll pull over right up here. How about make sure the thing's really tight. I had a set of skis. Hope that one froze. I got to tell you, if I was in a strange area, you know, we got to say and turn around, don't drown. I wouldn't be going in waters. But the only reason I'm doing this is I have been here. I know the depths of these roads. I've been through many storms here, so this is as far as I tell people, as far as marinas and waterways and what have you, I know this better than anything or any other place. So. Let's see, I'm gonna pull over here just a second. Read a call. The road's going to go underwater again right up here. Get to a safe place. I can pull over. I don't know why this phone is freezing like that. Let me see. Y'all, let me take this off for a second. See what. Oh, I missed it. Still over. Yeah, that's better. I don't think it was connected to the Starlink. There's some areas right up. These are water. These houses are just on the verge of taking water in. These people in a hurry. Not sure where they think they're going. Makes you wonder why that thing ain't showing. There it is. This is some of the lower areas on Shell Point Road. Old timers, that park down in there is mostly underwater, as you can see. Got to be careful because wood floats. All the people drop their golf carts up out of the flood zone. Still rising. because it wasn't this high when I came down. Turn these on. Yeah, somehow I was reading a minute ago. This is an excellent test for the whole system to know whether it's going to work or not. People just waiting on their porches, whether it's going to flood all of it or not. The house is barely out of the water, barely out. I know it aggravates people. Some of these cars driving real fast or trucks mostly through the water in some houses that forces the water up into their house. I'd be mad too. Don't know why this phone keeps pausing. It keeps freezing there. Thanks, Tommy. Are y'all seeing it pausing with this camera, or is it maybe just on my end? I'm not sure. All right, there was a fire truck in here, which is the road that I want to take to go over the Little Manatee River. Let's see if it's blocked. Let's see if they're totally got it blocked. Yeah, I'm not gonna go down there and get in the middle of that, but I can get to it from another way. Yeah, the next I'm gonna fool with during the day when I go offline. Let's see. Oh yeah, these houses right at it. Oh my gosh, that's right at it. They got a little wall built up around that one. That's good. They got a little concrete wall. There was a house back there that had a wall built around it. That's pretty interesting. That one, the water's getting in it, you can see. Unfortunately, at least that room is getting it. There's a lot of wood floating in the road here. Trying not to hit it because I ran over one earlier. Unfortunately, it didn't do any damage. But I hit one. Yeah, this is unfortunately going to go down. All right. I got it back. Turn it down. That down. So Starlink is back up.
What I just realized is when I lose signal from the Starlink, if I'm in an area where I have cellular service, I just need to get off of that and come back into the room. So that's kind of cool to learn that. But for those that, hey, I'm going to show you a couple of functions that we got with this that we can use. It's pretty cool. I'm going to try to get this camera back here. One of the things that this will do is I can share my screen. So for instance, I'll show you this. Google Maps. Kind of now show you where this is where we were just a minute ago for those that just came in the room. This is Tampa, Florida. We were all the way down here at Shell Point Marina. If you go back, if you just came in, you'll see the video. When this goes live later, you can go back and see at the very beginning, Shell Point Marina was underwater. So we come out of there and we came right straight down Shell Point Road. Now we're on 41. We're basically sitting right here, a little high area. So that's what we're looking at. Windy is showing that. Yep, it's definitely on shore. There, the storm is on shore. I think it's higher than that. But as you can see, the wind is still running northeast. That's probably why we're seeing the flooding. But supposedly, and I believe so, that the wind's going to turn completely to the east later on, about 2 o'clock. And the tide's going to be highest at that point. And that's, I believe, when the highest flooding is going to be. When that wind, and the reason is the wind's been pushing the water up in the bay, as you've seen. The water's up higher than it normally is, obviously. And the thing is, as the tide's dropping out, it can't really go back out like it normally does. So you're not going to get a low tide. And then whenever that tide goes back in, which it will come in higher, then along with the wind, the water's being pushed into the bay. That's going to be a mess. So here's the, this is where we're going to go now. This is the Skyway Bridge. As you can see, it's at the mouth of the Tampa Bay. And I believe it'll be fine even if the bridge is closed, because right in here, you can go, I can drive, I know, up to here. Well, I see, unless they somehow blocked it. But as a general rule, this is the turnaround point. But we'll be able to see the bay and see how far the water is up there. So we're going to ease on down that way. Let me go back to, let's see. All right, let's see here. Is it still echoing, guys? Because I hear no echo now. I've got the phone turned all the way down. But the only thing that could be echoing is if it was in this earpiece. Still is, huh? Huh. That's strange because I don't hear it. Okay, right now it's showing Starlink is offline, but my phone is online. So I should be able to, let's see. Echo's gone. It's causing the computer knocked offline. Try to mute this on further down.